Okay, what's up, folks? Rich Van Tassel with you. Got to give you the recap of last night's Sunday night game, then give you the preview of tonight's Monday night game between the Minnesota Vikings and the Chicago Bears. Last night, Kansas City improves to 5-0, 42-34 over the Houston Texans. Wild fourth quarter in that one. Alex Smith, 29 of 37, 324 yards, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. I thought the injuries to the offensive line with Houston's defensive front would slow Alex Smith down in this game. It did not. He's just continuing to impress each week. Kareem Hunt, 29 carries, 107 yards, 3.7 yards per carry. Alex Smith, 5 for 19, 3.8 yards per carry. The team, 35 of 127, 3.6 yards per carry. Very surprising in a game you score 42 points. You can run the ball 35 times for just over 3.5. Travis Kelce, 8 of 98 receiving. Tyreek Hill, 4 of 68. Chris Conley, 3 of 46. Ross Travis, 2 of 26. Ross Travis recovered a fumble. Derrick Johnson also recovered a fumble. Travis fumbled his and then recovered it. I'm sorry, I forgot there's people coming into work. They're downstairs, so that's the noise if you guys hear it. Team had 3 sacks. Daniel Sorensen, Frank Zombo had a split sack, and Justin Houston had 1.5 sacks, and Chris Jones also had a half sack. So I don't know how the breakdown of that went down. No interceptions. Akeem Hunt, 2 kick returns, 49 yards. Tyreek Hill, 2 of 75 punt returns. Chris Conley also had an 8-yard kick return. D'Anthony Thomas, 2 for 4 in his punt returns. Oh, here we go. So Kansas City did not score 6 touchdowns. Harrison Butler, 5 for 5 in his field goals. Texans, Deshaun Watson, 16 to 31, 264 yards, did have 5 touchdowns, no interceptions, did have 15 incompletions on 31 passes, though, so take what you will from the game. Lamar Miller, 15 to 74, 4.9 yards per rush. Donta Foreman, 4 for 34, 8.5 yards per rush. Deshaun Watson, 3 of 31, 10.3. The team, 23 carries, 144 yards. 6.3 yards per rush. Steven Anderson, top receiver, 2 of 63. Will Fuller, the fifth, 2 of 57 with 2 touchdowns. DeAndre Hopkins, 4 of 52 with 3 touchdowns. Donta Foreman lost a fumble. The team only had 1 sack. Joel Heath, we'll get into that. No interceptions, 2 kick returns by Chris Thompson for 51 yards. Will Fuller, the fifth, had a 49-yard punt return, not for a touchdown. Kymeen Fairbairn did not attempt a field goal. So Kansas City continues to impress. As I said when I did the preview of this game, I expect Houston's defensive line to get the job done and the offensive line injuries to slow the Chiefs down. I expected they would have recovered from it, but I still thought that Kansas City was going to have the problems in this game. They did not. Kansas City got the job done. So Alex Smith continues to play well. Kareem Hunt, their running game came down a little bit. That could have been to the offensive line injuries. We'll have to, you'll have to see when the offensive line is totally healthy, and at times teams are going to shut you down. But to score 42 points and to be able to run the ball as much as they did, but they were also up 23-7 at the end of half. So you can try to salt the game away, and they were still doing it effectively enough. As we said, when you have a lead, you can usually get away with 3.5 yards per rush as opposed to just the 4 yards per carry. For the Houston Texans, look, they got DeAndre Hopkins involved. They're continuing to go to him. I think that's very important for them. Their running game is quietly coming along with both Lamar Miller and Donta Foreman. You're going to have the ups and downs with Deshaun Watson playing quarterback. He's a rookie, so you'll have to just keep an eye on that. This was one of those games. It was a game he had ups and downs. It can go week to week where he has one good week, one bad week, or he can just have an up and down game like he had last night. 5 touchdowns with 15 incompletions. Did not have any interceptions, however. So, that's what happens when you have a rookie quarterback. We'll see what happens with Houston Texans moving forward. They still have a very winnable division. All right, we'll be back in just a few minutes to give you the preview of tonight's game between the Bears and the Minnesota Vikings. Stay tuned. Thank you.